Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be reviewing my offenses that I use in the arena on a daily basis. I hold Conqueror 2 and Conqueror 3 pretty confidently. I can easily hop into Guardian, however I've never finished there. Unfortunately, I go to bed far too early on Sunday nights to have any chance of playing Rush Hour or holding Guardian going into the next week. So until my arena defenses get stronger, I'm not holding Guardian anytime soon. But let's take a look at the three main arena offenses I use, and let's get into it. So the first and foremost offense I use is a single Lucian offense, featuring Bernard, Tion, and Vanessa for the speed lead. So to give you a breakdown of why I use these units, Vanessa as a speed lead allows my Bernard, who's at 292 speed, to keep pace with pretty much any other unit in the game. Now that said, at a really high level I start to lose out in the speed battle and I'll use this team less. But it allows me to challenge speed lead teams that aren't at least at my 33% level. So unless I see a Pisama and a Bernard at a high level, I'm fairly confident in my speed here and I'm able to move. My Tion is speed synced with my Bernard thanks to Vanessa's speed lead, and she can instantly give the turn and an attack buff to my Lucian, who's set up on 98% crit rate and can do quite a bit of damage without having to be speed synced to my Bernard. Here's my Bernard stats. As you can see, he's pretty quick, 292 speed. Tion, his purpose is to revive the Lucian or anyone else who goes down, plus give the Lucian the turn with the attack buff. My Lucian, pretty slow. He could use some work. He's not on the best runes, but 98% speed or crit rate. And then finally my Vanessa, whose job is to basically keep the team alive, give me a second revive if I need it, and also to carry all those fight runes to amp up Lucian's damage. On to the next team. So my second team is a Galleon Cleave team featuring Alicia and Pungbek as the big damage dealers. Aquila sets up a pretty nice strip and also brings an attack and crit rate buff if he doesn't need to, but traditionally I take this team against units that set up big defensive blocks like Chloe, or if I'm a little bit worried that my single Lucian won't have enough damage to take down a big beefy Varad or a unit like the Bay over there who I know is going to be very durable. So this team allows me to set up some big damage cleaves, and I primarily use it against teams that don't have a stripper. Now the reason I look out for strippers is because you'll notice every single unit on my team is packing shield and will. Well, I'm sorry, my nukers are not on shield, but they're packing will. And you'll notice these purple runes on Aquila right now, they're because I don't want him to be going too much faster. The speed sync is actually set up perfectly. Aquila at 159 with tower. Galleon here, he's at 159 with tower. They're both rocking 2 sets of shield to give me that big beefy thickness, so that it protects my Pungbek and my Alicia, who you'll notice are fairly squishy, though Pungbek's actually got a decent amount of HP now that I look at it. They're not as well speed synced. I think Pungbek's at 152, and then Alicia's at 150 with the tower, so they could use some better stats, and they need some slight improvement. But this tower I can use basically against anything that has a very beefy defense that I'm a little worried that single Lucian can't cut through, and doesn't have a stripper. If it doesn't have a stripper, then I know my team is going to be fine and I can do the cleave. Now if they are packing a stripper, they're too beefy to use my single Lucian against, we use this last team, which is incredibly reliable but slow. Now this slow offense is actually my most used and most reliable offense. The problem with it is that slowness that I just mentioned. The fact that I can't blitz through a bunch of arena wings really quickly, the fact that if I'm trying to climb rank for whatever reason, it's not going to allow you to do that. So if you're looking for something to safely climb rank, so your Monday through Saturday team, this is what I would recommend. If you're looking for something for closing out Sunday, if you're going to play Rush Hour, go back to the first 2 teams, run Cleave or Lucian, and those are going to be so much faster. So the reason this team is so successful is because I bring multiple forms of defense break, I bring immunities, I bring several healers in the fact that Amarna can heal and cleanse, Feng Yan can put a healing buff on my entire team, and Wusa actually has a pretty substantial heal with his second skill. The shields that Wusa brings amps up my durability. All of my units are built fairly resistant, except for Amarna. I think Amarna might have low resistance. And with the multiple defense breaks coming from 3 different ones of my units, some slight crowd control from Wusa, it's just incredibly durable and has actually some solid damage coming out of the Wind Panda and Tessarion. Oh, and something else to keep in mind is I bring Tessarion because of the prevalence of passives in the arena metagame. So in this defense we had Hellfast and Perna, which are both really powerful units, but without their passives, they're garbage. So keep that in mind if you're looking to build a team like this. Now, if I were recommending to a player, oh, they can look at me and say, oh, I don't have Unfair Bear, I don't have that Nat 6 Light Anubis, I don't have Wusa. Everyone has Tessarion, first of all. So Tessarion's amazing, and if you don't have any of these other units, you can run Tessarion at leader for the big leader boost resistance, which is always valuable. Some defenses, I'll move him to leader instead of Wusa just for that bonus. But Wusa can be replaced with any unit that grants your team immunity. The shield is really nice and helps counter Orion's by giving another buff for him to strip, but it's the immunity that I'm after. So if you have any unit like Delphoy or the Fire Heart Magician is actually a great... Actually, yes, let's say a Fire Heart Magician would be your replacement for Wusa. Now, let's say you don't have a Marna, the Nat 6, in my opinion, of this offense, because he brings so much. He brings defense break and heal block and brand and cleanse and big old fat heals and AoE revives. Oh god, he's amazing. If you don't have a Marna, I would probably say either pack a big healer like Chasun or Ariel, just because the attack buff and the heals are going to keep your team pretty well off, or bring another reviver like Eladriel, or I don't know if Briand would work too well for this offense, but another big healer or a reviver. Eladriel actually fills both those roles as a reviver and a healer, but you can replace him with that. Now, Wind Panda, unfortunately, is kind of the rock on which this offense is built. It's a team that features all sorts of supporty annoyances, while the Wind Panda brings another form of defense break and a lot of pressure onto a single unit. I'm not sure that you can replace the Wind Panda too easily, though you can experiment with different bruisers in his place. So maybe a Rakan could fill that role. I don't know. I don't have a Rakan. Perhaps even a Theomars might actually work in that role if your Theo is fairly durable. And then finally, Tessarion is another rock on this team. He brings actually some fairly decent damage. He's built very durably. I'm going to show you my stats here in a moment. You'll notice that my Tessarion stats are very beefy, but because his speed is fairly high, he still does solid damage with his first skill, and he brings a defense break with his second. So Tessarion is absolute gold on this offense. I can use this offense all the way up into the Guardian ranks. It's fantastic. It's just slow. So keep that in mind. Trying to think if there's anything else I really want to call out for this offense. Things to avoid with it, actually, are the types of defenses that are wombo combo-y. So if I see like a Bernard Megan Doublelution, I'll possibly avoid it with this team because I'm a little afraid of the Bernard outspeeding before I get that Wusa buff up and then just dropping a big old double ant magic on my face. Sure, my units will well, no, I don't think... I mean, so I expect at least 40,000 damage from double ant magic, and I just don't see this team doing well against that. So the only thing you can't take this offense into is those annoying Doublelution defenses that you occasionally see. But if you're running this offense after, as like an additional thought, a Vanessa Bernard team, like that first Lucian team I showed, is going to outspeed a Doublelution defense every time, which kind of makes it a moot point, because I won't use this team against that one. So let's take a quick look at my units here. Wusa will be up first. You'll notice that I built him very tanky, pretty quick. He could be a little faster. He's on Swift Will. The Will is important just to make sure that he's up for that shield in the beginning. My Wind Panda's pretty quick, again on Will and Violent because Unfair Bear to the max. Amarna I have on Revenge, actually. It's very potent, and for the most part they're going to leave him alone unless they have a Dark unit on their defense. And then finally Tessarion is the big rock on which this team is built to shut down passives and still do damage thanks to high speed. Now you might be looking at Tessarion's runes and going, what the heck is this mess? I like him on Revenge because when a Camilla attacks him, it's really nice to have him counterattack and take away Camilla's passive. I like him on Will so that he doesn't get too badly pressured at the beginning if my Wusa gets outsped. And I like him on Focus because with the 54% accuracy we see here and the leader skill from Wusa, he's actually bringing in about 90-some accuracy, so he's almost always going to be putting down his debuffs. And that's it. I feel like I've been talking really fast, so I hope this was of value to people. And let me know if there's anything in the next video that you'd like me to cover or could do better. Thanks for everybody, and drop me a like and subscribe if you really like the content, and I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks.